All right. So, again, your morning coffee with Renee. Renee, thank you for doing this with me. Um, is it April 8th, 2020? How's the quarantine life been so far? We'll just start out with that because, I mean, that's what everybody's pretty much doing right now, trying to figure out, the new type of lifestyle, at least for a while.
Quarantine for me hasn't been bad actually. I feel like I've gone through roller coasters though. There was like last week I was super aggressive, just like I even had to tell my daughter Brooke, like, dude, it's not you. I am just in a mood. Like, I didn't want you to think like you're making me mad. I'm just mad. Like
Yeah.
I had to like get myself up. Like I was just in a bad mood. The week before that, I was so emotional. I don't even know what the
Was
heck
it
was
because of
going
what
on.
was going on, like the whole COVID
I
thing?
don't know. I guess like no, like honestly it really doesn't stress me out. Like I feel like everyone just needs to take like it serious. That's really it. Just take it serious and like protect yourself and protect like, your loved ones and think of other people. I
For
think that's
sure.
like the hardest like thing right now is like people just aren't thinking like
Of others.
yeah, like yeah, that's
I think
really
so
like the
too.
hardest most frustrating part. Um, but I think like I'm pretty social, but
Right.
I'm also like really need my space. Like I'm
For
super,
sure.
super independent. So like being like, home doesn't bug me, but I guess just like being out of like the routine, like the gym and stuff had like
Right.
really like been like, whoa, like
Yeah. So I know you go to the gym pretty frequently. Have you been getting in the home workouts?
I have my gym's amazing. Like when they decided to do, close down for and put a pause for everything for a little bit, they let us check out equipment.
Nice.
So I was able to get like weights and everything. All the coaches daily post videos still. They did like a coffee Zoom today, so everyone's still like staying connected.
What's the name of your gym?
Gym 244.
244.
Hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you're still lifting at home, or is it more like high intensity stuff, or?
It's all of it. So it's lifting with high intensity stuff. I've been trying to run. They do body weight workouts too. So
Mhm.
really just trying to really just do the workouts, and they're still like super tough and sweaty, but could be body weight, whatever you have. If you have dumbbells, barbells, they really
Right.
gear it to like whatever you have at home. So it's been nice. I've still been working out almost every day, but it's definitely a mindset change to just like see
For
my
sure.
attachment to the gym and then see where it comes from like within to like do it
Yeah.
on my own and by myself.
Yeah, that was
But
something I've been trying to deal with also is like because I was going to the gym. I don't go every single day, but trying to get a workout. Well, me and my lady started this April 30-day challenge, and this podcast is a part of it. I'm trying to do um, so it started out, my lady asked me to commit to a 30-day challenge, and I think in her mind she had like working out as her 30-day challenge. So I was like, okay, let's do that. That's a good idea. And then I kind of took that and ran with it and started like making a bunch of like challenges or commitments, and I kind of like overloaded myself, and I noticed it with this podcast. um but the workout is something I have been consistent with. I think I'm on like day 9 or day 10, like at least a 30-minute workout
yeah,
per day. But yeah, when
that's
you
good.
like, there's no excuse. You don't even have to go to the gym. It's just like you have to get it done.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be like aware of like what am I thinking, or like when I'm waking up, like I'm used to going to the gym either at 5:30 a.m. or sometimes 9 a.m. on my days off, and now I'm doing it at night at like freaking 9 p.m. But I'm
Yeah.
still like trying to be like aware of not being hard on myself. Like circumstances change, like my sleep has changed, but at least like I'm still, you know,
Yeah.
moving.
That's funny that you say that because, like I said, I think I kind of overdid it, or just was like, just like a little got excited, and I was like, yeah, you're right, we should do something. And then I just put
It's a
a whole bunch,
challenge.
yeah, I just put a whole bunch of stuff on myself. And you're right, like with the mindset, I was in the mindset of like, I have to do this, I have to get it done. Like I was being hard on myself. And since I went through that little day or two of like being hard on myself, I'm like, bro, you need to chill out. Like, it's gonna work out. Like, why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah, me too. I just had a, I had a, I don't know, it was a simple thing. Like, why am I not waking up early to do it before like I work or something? But
Right.
like just being like softer and just, circumstances have changed right now and just get it done when just get it done. But,
Right.
you know,
So, yeah, one thing I wanted to touch on, I know you're in the real estate industry and you've recently, somewhat recently made a transition. Um, do you think you could explain it to me once more? I know you did a little bit earlier, but just so,
yeah. So I think I'll start like why I got into the real estate industry.
yeah,
Like I from the I've always kind of had like a strong sense of who I am, and I've always wanted like some sort of freedom and independence, like in my workspace, and what I'm
for
gonna
sure.
do as far as like my career.
Hmm.
I grew up with my dad in real estate, my brother in real estate, stepmom, in real estate. So I've always known that that's like where I wanted to go.
Okay.
Um, so it just took me a little while to jump in. I thought I was going to do it right out of high school, but my circumstances changed, and I ended up still aiming for it. Um, it was tough to do it. It definitely was, to find the time to do it and to jump into something I knew wasn't the most secure job. I feel like anything you
Right.
go with like into commission is hard, especially me having like my daughter and just battling a lot of like self-doubt or like what society says that you have to have, like, like your
Right.
the way you get paid or the way that you
The security of,
yes, the
yeah.
security, the like, where are you going to get like, like these benefits from, or like whatever it
Yes.
might be. There's so much that you think that you have to do. So
Right.
it was, I think that it wasn't even so much of going for it, it was battling like those
Yeah.
thoughts.
The doubt,
Yes,
the uncertainties of,
exactly.
yeah. So how did you bring yourself to make that leap or to, cross that barrier of going into something like that rather than the security of, a weekly paycheck or
It's almost like if you have like a dirty room, like it's always in the back of your head that you have to clean it. Like it's how I think of it. Like it was just always in the back of my head, always like eating at me throughout the day, or like it was always one of like my goals. And I was like, why do I keep like holding this off? Or like same thing like the gym, like why do I keep holding it off? Like I want to go. And you just get to the point where you're tired of it and you just have to take like the risk to do it. I finally did it. It wasn't easy either. Failed my test lots of times. um, but like I did it, and it was the craziest roller coaster of my life, because even when I did it, I still wanted some sort of security. So I was still working other jobs as I was trying to make real estate my career. So I was
yes.
like spread thin. I think I had 4 jobs at once
Wow.
at one point for a couple months. And my mind was still on real estate, but I knew like if I was going to go full in, like I had to give up those other things. I couldn't be like 25% here, 30%
Right.
here, and, 50% here. Like I had to go in like 100%. And I had some really cool people like on my side in real estate.
Hmm.
However, my family was not on my side. So it was definitely really tough.
Like even the side that was
No,
already fully, oh, okay.
that
They were
side
fully
knew I
supportive.
had to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I at one point, like I even had like um my mom even tell me like, like it's not going to work.
Hmm.
And so like I think like it was just a really struggle for me. When I went full in, like that was when actually started getting like panic attacks, like anxiety attacks, because no, like not knowing, like being commissioned and like going for something is so tough. It is so freaking tough.
Right.
And not knowing exactly and it 100% know if you're going to get paid, because you don't. And there's been times where I had it, so like having a panic attack and not knowing like if I'm gonna be able to pay my car or like what the heck is going to happen, but just like doing it anyways and just giving it like your all. And um yeah, I went into it, I did it, and I love it, and I still do it. um but I'm in a different area in real estate now, not so much out
Right.
in the field, if you could say.
Gotcha. But that's awesome. Like, do you think that's part of the majority of people's process that they have to go to is that kind of struggle of, you know,
Oh yeah,
taking that
absolutely.
leap and then once you have made that leap, is there still a whole learning experience that you have to go through in order to like solidify your decision and say like, I'm gonna stick with this and this is what it is and I'm gonna see it out to the end?
I think so many people struggle. I think everyone's situation is absolutely different though. Like I can't, I could only speak on mine, but everyone's situation is different. Where some people save money, and have income for 4 months
Right.
knowing that things are uncertain, which that was not me. So like people do that, they'll save and then go into real estate, or some people will still just do it part-time. I personally have never seen someone do it part-time and reach where they want it to be in real estate, as far as like
Right.
money goes. So I do believe that you have to go in like 100%. However that might be, I, as an individual agent, it was still really hard for me to go in 100%. Like there was points where I still had to get a side job. Like I was doing real estate throughout the day and then I was working at night
So
because
you're Oh,
there's
go ahead.
slow times and there's, great times.
Gotcha. So you're saying no longer so much in the field. What is it transition to you for into now?
Yeah, so I was like out in, when I say like in the field, but like meeting buyers at homes and, self-touring them with them and everything like that, or going on listing appointments is what I mean by in the field. But
Okay.
now, like I got to a point last year where really wanted to do something like, or be like take real estate somewhere else. And I was just wanting to it be more modern. Like I was tired of like not that there's anything wrong with it, but I was just tired of like the blazers and like the old fashioned like photo like
I hear
headshots,
you.
and just I wanted to just do something different in real estate and take it somewhere else. But it was very hard to figure that out like on my own.
Right.
Luckily, I met some like amazing people through real estate that introduced me to a company called Open Door, where they just revolutionized like selling and buying for buyers and sellers, and just made it more certain. Like they
Hmm.
buy and sell homes. Like it's a really amazing company that I jumped into. Definitely took a risk, was out pay for a couple weeks, set me back for a couple months, but like
So
that's like the
another
point
leap in
of it.
there.
Yeah, like I in real estate, I think I've been more broke than wealthy, like, but
Did
like I
that
guess
did that second leap into like Open Door, was that easier because of the first initial one into real estate? Did you see the opportunity more
I
clear
s-
than you did the first time?
that's such a good question. I did. Like
Yeah.
I also had like really great like friends to just be like, do it, like,
Good support system.
and help, yeah, and like help to do it. Like I was like, how am I gonna do this? Also that it was in Phoenix. So like I would be commuting.
Right.
And so that was another risk in itself. Like, am I gonna be able to commute to Phoenix almost every day? Like, is this what I want? And there's like, it's gonna be worth it. Like, like
Right.
this company was like, it's getting off the ground. It's exactly what I wanted to do. Like the people I had talked to over the phone were just incredible, where I was just like, everything just kept lining up that just gave me more and more certainty of like why I want to do this, like why it's
Right.
gonna be good for me to wake up an extra 2 hours, to commute, or getting home at 10 p.m. from Phoenix. Like I love it. I love it. I think that's probably why I was crying like 2 weeks ago during quarantine, being away from all of them.
Oh, so you were crying because you were home and you couldn't make the commute. So it kind of like slowed everything down for you.
Yeah, and I actually get a lot of like what do they call it? Back flat? Like
Backlash?
yeah, like
Backlash?
people telling me about like the commute and stuff, like that I'm gonna get
Oh,
run down by it or like exhausted by it. But
oh,
I think I've
okay.
just gotten to the point where I just do what I have to do. Like, if this is what
Yeah.
I want to do, and just I try not to put like any like negative taste in my mouth about it. Like this is just what I do. Like this is
Yeah, and you enjoy doing it.
I
So
actually do. I
I'm
find it
I'm
like
sure a commute
meditating.
is the driving, the
Hmm.
commute. Yeah. Do you that's funny because I was thinking about asking you that before we even started. Like I know you're working out and the commute. So do you have like playlists for those activities, or are you listening to podcasts or anything like that? Do you have a song you have on repeat right now, a quarantine playlist?
Dude, I do. I really do.
That's funny.
So typically the way my morning goes is like I'll go to the gym at 5:30 on the days that like I and the days that I work. So I'll go to the gym in Tucson at 5:30 a.m. and I don't have a playlist for the gym because they play like the speakers there.
Hmm.
Usually always something upbeat for stretching. Maybe it's Drake or whatever. I rush home. I literally have like 30 minutes to shower, get dressed, and then I head to Phoenix. So on the way to Phoenix, I honestly listen to everything, but what I try to do is like at least for like the first 30 minutes, either listen to a podcast, which I've always go to like Oprah's Super Soul Conversations just because like I just try to like I don't know, there's so many, but like I'll like just I don't really even look for a certain topic. I just like to pick one and if it
Yeah.
speaks to me, it's pretty great. But I like those because they're short.
Oprah?
And
I
then
haven't.
yeah,
It's actually Oprah
it's called
talking.
Super Soul.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to check
especially
it out.
it's really, really great. There's like a lot of podcasts that have actually really stuck with me and have really like changed like certain like things and like beliefs that I have, like me being vegetarian and Brick not being vegetarian. Like, how does that work?
So you are a vegetarian right now?
Yeah, I've been vegetarian almost 4 years.
Oh wow. It
Yeah.
has the whole, shopping, grocery shopping and stuff had an effect on your diet at all, or you're just sticking to
No,
it?
it actually really hasn't. I'll be go to like the frozen meat section. They now have like Beyond Meat and stuff there, and it's
Right.
always like everything's all gone, and then it's like the section, and it's all there still. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
but then someone was like, "What if it's all gone? Like you're gonna have to eat meat." And I was like, I couldn't even imagine eating meat and just being like crying and like,
That's
I
funny
was
because
like,
before this whole quarantine thing, the virus started breaking out, I was doing the complete opposite. I was doing the carnivore diet.
I
I
have a
was
friend doing that, and they're just like, I know you hate it, and I'm like, no, like if it works for you, it works for you, like
Yeah. I had been going strong for about I want to say like
What
a
did
good
that look
three
like?
weeks. In the morning, I was eating eggs, sausage, or eggs and sausage, and eggs and steak. Maybe it was a lot of steak, chicken. I don't I try to stay away from pork. I'm not a huge pork fan, but if I have to, I have to. It's just meat all the time. Just meat. But I was eating less. I was eating like 2 times a day, but I wasn't like noticing any fatigue or anything like that. And I was um it's funny because I noticed like the soreness from going to the gym and stuff kind of like eased up and it wasn't as intense as it usually is. So
I think
obviously,
diets like that are really great, like because I feel like whether it be like all meat or all
mhm,
vegan or whatever it might be, it really helps you understand like what your body likes and what it doesn't like, whether
yeah,
it be meat or whatever it might be. Like anytime you put yourself on like a self-disciplined diet like that, like getting rid of like a lot of other things that you typically would eat too, like let's just say bread or sugars and stuff, like you realize like your body actually doesn't like that stuff or
yeah. And it also helps you kind of like take a step back and notice all the shit that you're putting into your body that
yep.
it's like, oh man, like because I have two little ones here and they snack and we don't have like crazy unhealthy snacks. We do have some chips and like Cheetos. Kids love Cheeto Puffs. But like when you see the snacks and it's like, and you've been disciplined on this diet and it's like, oh man, that looks good, but it's probably not that it's not that good for you, obviously. But
I felt the same. Like when I first started, like obviously I was a huge burger and wing person and like oh my gosh, so big on that. I grew up with a freaking hunter. Like, but I made the choice and it wasn't about like the animals and stuff at first. Like it was really about just not wanting to support like these big companies that came in to like do I won't get into that right now, but the what you were saying like about like seeing like Cheetos and stuff, like I used to have like those crazy cravings at first, but now like my body actually really rejects it. Like I haven't had hot Cheetos in I don't know how long, just because like I've literally bought it because I thought I wanted it, but my
mhm,
body is now like just
cut
stops me.
off from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes me get like grossed out, which is so weird. It's
Yeah,
so
that's the thing right there. It almost kind of grosses you out to know you're putting that in your body and you know it's not. Once you like I said, my journey on the carnivore diet was pretty short because like once we got into this thing, I was like, yo, I can't be picky. Like I'm gonna have to eat. Um,
Yeah.
so kind of took a break from it, but hopefully I'll pick up soon.
I highly suggest going on a vegetarian diet. Honestly, not just because like not saying like stay vegetarian or whatever, but I heard this podcast also on Oprah. It's
Mhm.
by this guy called his she was interviewing a guy. His name is like Michael Pollan, but he basically studies how people eat like in ancient times, and
Right.
meat was a luxury. You know, it wasn't something that was done every day. Like if you think of like these huge feasts and stuff where they had like pigs on the table, that was only like okay like occasions. But he encourages like he's basically all about like eating together, like really having like a soulful experience with the food that you put into your body, whether it be, you know, whether you roast a chicken, like, you know that where it came from, and just like
Yes.
enjoy it and love it, and respect it, you know, and that will then have like this soulful experience of like eating rather than just eating like, you know, fast food and just eating fast and stuff, like just really having like this really great experience with food.
Right. That's
But
where I
he
say like, oh, so go ahead.
well, the last thing he basically says that if you go on like a vegetarian diet for a while, you will be able to know that you're like it's your choice. Like we just grew up eating meat, you know, bologna
Right.
sandwiches and like, you know, like whatever it might be, like we just that's just how we were raised. But if you
Right.
go on a vegetarian diet, you'll be able to decide for yourself, like if you want to continue eating meat or if you don't want to continue eating pork, or, you know, maybe your body doesn't like chicken, you know, going like cleansing your body that way and then finding out what meats work for you and what doesn't, or, you know, it's
Yeah.
really, really cool podcast.
I have to check it out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with the carnivore thing, helped me take a step back and realize like what I'm putting into my body, and then just eating meat. Then I was like, I don't know where this meat's coming from. I don't know like what kind of conditions these cows are raised in, or these chickens, because you see documentaries and stuff where like
Yeah.
these chickens can't even stand up on their own feet. It's like
Oh.
I'm getting those kind of chickens from Foster Farms or whatever, and
If you think of like how is meat like $4 sometimes? It's like what?
oh
Like that's
no,
so crazy.
I went to Dickman's here in Tucson, the meat market, whatever, the butcher. Um, it's like, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like a real
I actually
popular one
really
on.
never have.
It's a real popular one on the east side, and because I first got the notion to do this uh, all meat diet from, I heard it on Joe Rogan's podcast from Dr. Peterson,
Hmm.
and he was just explaining all the benefits he had seen through it. And nobody's saying like we have the evidence to prove that this works or anything like that. They're just giving their own experiences. And I forgot what type of meat that Joe Rogan was saying was uh, really like a high quality meat, but I went to Dickman's to go check it out, and this piece of meat, it was like 3 pounds, and it was literally like, I want to say like $40 for 3 pounds.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, all right, I get it. I get it. There's no way
Oh
I can
god.
have the same diet as Joe Rogan. That's not gonna happen.
You're all carnivore diet out.
Seriously, I was like, oh,
That's
I'll go
so
back to
funny.
Safeway.
No, but like it's like in the podcast that I was talking about with Michael Pollan too, he talks about like you can taste the difference in meat. You will literally taste like sometimes have you ever just had meat where it's like this doesn't taste good and you've had it before and you loved it. But
Right.
he talks about like the conditions of the animals. Like you will be able to
Yeah.
taste when they were under duress and stress. He says his favorite thing to do is he was vegetarian for a while, and he loves to like take a couple hours. He loves to actually take care of the chickens, love the chickens, kill the chickens, and cook the chickens. That's how
Yeah.
he gets the best like flavor and everything from like a chicken that was cared for from in his backyard. So it's crazy. It's
Yeah, I
wild,
think the
but it's
animals
cool.
have similar, I mean, obviously animals are similar to their living organisms as we are, and the conditions that they grow up in are going to form who they are and how their body produces certain qualities, muscles and fat and all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's like grass fed beef and all that stuff. open range chickens. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the realization I came to when I'm like, damn, I'm just eating meat. And it's like, that's why I tried to go to the meat market. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's
these
like
guys are
$40.
probably the local business. They're going out, they're hunting these strong animals. And I was like, fuck, I can't do that.
That's so
That's a lot
funny.
for one steak, $40. I was like,
Yeah.
geez, keep it on the
Jeez.
Safeway and fries diet.
But it was definitely a challenge to like go that route, and then knowing that like, because Brooke spends 50% of the time with her dad too, and just knowing that like if I try to put her on a vegetarian diet, it won't work, like,
Mm,
because I
right,
can't control like, what she eats somewhere else. Like I would drive myself crazy, be like, she
for
can't do
sure.
this, blah, 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 and I didn't want to be like that either. So it's gonna have to definitely be a choice that she makes, but she's definitely like has made like choices as far as like, I just want her to be aware,
Right.
like
That's the
I guess
thing, is
that's
being aware. It's like
exactly.
I feel like myself, it was just like you said, like we were raised and you might stop and get food, or you don't even question it. You
Yeah,
know, you don't even
exactly.
question. It's just kind of like a filler.
hmm And I think
Um,
sometimes people feel like bad eating meat around me and stuff, and it's not like that at all. Like I just think like it's so like I just think everyone should just have some sort of awareness.
for sure.
hmm
And it's another area to practice your own discipline, and you know, just like workout, just like
With everything, awareness in literally everything.
for sure.
hmm
Um, what was I gonna say? Uh,
Dude, how's it going with two kids right now? And they're both like, are they both like they're both toddlers, right?
Yeah, one just turned 3 in March, and the other just turned 1 in this past December. So
I
we
thought
got
3 really quick was the hardest age. I don't know why,
really
but your boys seem so good.
they are good boys, but they're getting more rambunctious right now, especially with each other. Like my 1-year-old's walking, and he can retaliate now. He can hit back, but my 3 year
Doesn't
old,
take it.
yeah, my 3-year old is just like, bro, you're still the little bro. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Um,
That's so funny.
but it's been good. I think they like having us at home. It's tough, like when my lady's in the other room working and I have to occupy them, or vice versa. It's they want to be around you all the time. It's been good, but definitely been a change of pace for all of us. And yeah, not bad at all. Um, how about you? Does your daughter miss going to school? Is she bored?
She misses it, but she's been doing Zoom like meetings with like her class and stuff, so she really likes that.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, she's gonna be 9 this year. Like I'm just like, dude, do what you gotta do. I don't know. I'll show you once, and you're gonna have to do this the rest of the time. Like, you're cooking breakfast today. Like,
That's
I'm
sick. I
like,
can't wait to
yeah,
get to that.
it's so different. Like, but I feel like that's kind of how she's always been. Maybe it's just because like she's like my only kid, and I've had to take her like with me absolutely everywhere.
Yeah,
She's had to wait, like, she's had to go to the office with me. She goes to the gym with me in the morning and she's like half asleep. Like, I feel like I've never like, sometimes people be like, she shouldn't do that. She's gonna be so tired. Like, why do you take her and stuff? But like, it's my life. Like, I have, that's the only time I can do it. Like, I'm not gonna tell myself no because my daughter so she could sleep an extra hour.
for
Like,
sure.
I just
That's
do it.
I don't know if you ever read The Compound Effect, but
Mm,
you have.
it's one of my favorite books. It's
But
so
what you
good.
just said reminded me of, what he talks about in there is the example that his father set for him, like with waking up early, hearing the dumbbells clinking in the garage. And I think what you're doing with your daughter, if that's the case, like taking her with you, you're setting a great example for her. And she's probably that way because she's seen her mom do it all independently, and ra-
Hopefully.
raising a strong woman sounds like.
I'm trying,
Great.
definitely trying. It's always been like that. Like I feel like since I've had her so young, like I always just had like the mindset of like I never want to put restrictions on myself, and I never want her to like ever see me putting restrictions on myself because I have a kid. Like I've never canceled on a lunch appointment because I was like, oh, I have my kid with me, or like I've never like canceled on something because I was like, so he's like, can I bring, is it kid
Wow.
friendly, or
Yeah, that's
whatever it
cool.
might be. And now she has like great relationships with the people in my life. Like,
Nice.
like I feel like if I ever, something were ever to happen to me, like she'd always, like the people we have should always be taken care of.
Right. Hey. Um, so, well, I want to say thank you for chatting it up with me. It's good to see you. I'm glad to
Oh,
hear you're doing well. Um, yeah, I hope, this whole thing blows over soon. Obviously, it's going to take a while, but maybe we could do this again in person later on. But, thank you for being a part of it.
dude,
And
thank you for doing this. Like I told you before, like I think the best way and like the best thing any human can do is have like honest conversations with each other and talk about like what's important, what's scary, like the conversations that people aren't having, and make the time to do it is literally everything. And I
right.
think this is awesome. So thank you
Thank
for
you.
asking me.
I appreciate it.
I don't want to let you go.
It's all good. Well, I'm starting out with this. I'm reaching out to my friends, just or people that I know that are, like you're in an industry that I'm sure people would like to hear about, learn more about, and with your transitions and your growth in the industry, I think people could take a lot from it, and there's a lot of value in having a conversation with somebody who's doing something that you may be interested in, and maybe thinking about.
I
Um,
appreciate that. And I mean, if you've reached out to me before too. So if anyone else, like, I'm always ears to like, talk about my journey in real estate.
yeah, where can people reach you at? I mean, don't give out your phone number or anything like that.
Oh,
But, or actually, I guess you could. I don't know if you're looking for clients, but
is my name show up right here? Renee Robles. Does it show up on the recording?
it
Well,
does.
Instagram, I guess it would probably be the easiest.
It's
Just,
just Renee Robles
mm-hmm. Oh,
on
no.
Instagram.
It's Renee Robles with two S's
Okay, I'll
at the
put it
end.
in the comment section.
All
Um,
right. Well,
but
thank
thank you.
you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
No
Bye.
problem.